Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live today. We're so glad to have you all with us as we have another amazing session lined up for you. So thank you to everyone in our audience. We love seeing where you're all joining from. So if you haven't yet, just leave us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from, what the weather's like over there, and how we can help you with your genealogy. We'd love to bring you more of these amazing sessions. So let us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in an upcoming Facebook Live. We are happy to bring you experts from all over the field in genealogy, family history, DNA, MyHeritage employees talking about tools and features. So we would love to hear what it is that you'd like to learn about in upcoming sessions. So I see we have, Anne from Knoxville, Kathy from Sacramento, California with us, Pat from Iowa. We have Ray from Windsor, Ontario. Thank you to all of you for joining us. And we're so glad to have you all in our audience today. So as you may know, we have a fantastic session lined up for you with Thomas MacEntee. We're really excited about it. Before we dive into today's session, I'll just let you know about a Halloween sale that we have going on here at MyHeritage, available until November 1st. We'll be putting a link in the comment section where you could take advantage of this great sale on MyHeritage DNA kits. We're getting close to the holidays, so now's the time to start putting those DNA kits on your list for friends and family members. And you have the added bonus that, when they test, you learn more about your family history as well. So take advantage of that great sale. We'll put a link in the comments section. In addition, we'll be doing a draw for today's session. At the end of it, we'll be giving away one DNA kit to a lucky winner in the audience. So to enter, since we'll be talking about family trees today, we want to hear about your family trees on MyHeritage and how MyHeritage tools have helped you expand your tree. So whether it be through record matches where you received a record match to a nice record about a family member, or maybe a smart match that connected you to another family tree on MyHeritage, and you learned more. Maybe you connected to another family tree and got a photo of an ancestor that you'd never seen before. We'd love to hear all about it. So leave a comment in the comment section for us today, and we'll be choosing one lucky winner who comments there, and they will get a MyHeritage DNA kit at the end of today's session after we take some questions. So we can't wait to see what you put in the comment section. We love reading all the stories from our users with fantastic discoveries. That makes us just so proud of everything that we do at MyHeritage to help you with your family history. So can't wait to see what you put in there. So now I want to introduce our speaker. Of course, we have with us Thomas MacEntee. He's a genealogy professional. He lives in the United States. And of course, he specializes in using technology and social media to improve genealogy research. We love having him on our Facebook Lives. We are so honored to have him with us today. And let me bring him onto the screen to say hello to everyone. Let's get him on here. Hello, Thomas.
Hey, Esther, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Listen, a belated happy birthday. I realized it was your birthday last week, right? And you're 20 and you're 21, right? That's what I heard. You're 21 years. So
only 25 this year.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, I'm so old my birthstone is lava, so I won't even tell you how old I am. So yeah. No, it's good to be here. I've had a bit of a frazzled day. You ever have a crazy Monday that's not under your control?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm in Palm Springs, California. I'm not in my usual location. Usually I'm in Chicago, where many are cold but few are frozen. And I'm laughing because it's like 45 degrees there right now. And no, I'm getting a new place that we bought ready for rental market. So I'll be here for the next 4 weeks. So I might even do the next one in November from here. We'll see. So
amazing. It's
yeah.
looking very sunny.
Thank you. And I'm actually really excited that you and I could collaborate, and we decided to pick this topic. This actually came from a follower, suggested this overall, and I said it would be perfect for family trees on MyHeritage. So, yeah.
Amazing. We're
And you
really
can hear
excited.
me okay, right? My volume is okay? Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Perfect. I have a totally new laptop, new setup, new camera, and that's part of my Manic Monday. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll let you know if there's any issues, and I'm
Okay.
sure our audience will write in the comments if we
Okay.
have
I'm going to
any
go ahead and
problems.
share then and get started, if that's okay.
Yeah, let me bring it up.
I think so. And you should see my slides, right? Great.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect. Thank you. And I'll go ahead and hide this toolbar. So I'm going to welcome everyone. I'm Thomas MacEntee from Genealogy Bargains. And you know, I do a lot of educational webinars and Facebook Lives with MyHeritage. And I've been in this business, believe it or not, not in the business, but I've been doing genealogy for 44 years. I know it's all smoke and mirrors. I'll be 59 this December. And but I started as a 14-year-old boy. So I started before there was home computers, before there was indexes. I remember microfilm and sound decks and paper and pencil. So what I try and do is break down how to do your genealogy research so that you find success and that you enjoy it. And I break out these little topics. This is one that a follower suggested. Welcome to my family tree, a protocol for adding a new person. So if you've ever been inconsistent about how you go about adding a new person, this is the Facebook Live session for you. I will note right now there is not a syllabus available. This is the problem with the Manic Monday. Programs crash, you lose documents, but there will be one. I'll post it later this afternoon. It is, by the way, 11 a.m. here, Pacific time. And so I promise I will have that. You will not be left without. And also, we're recording this, so you will have this available. Esther will make sure that this is available later. Okay, so this is the problem that I've always had. You know, I discover new information probably at MyHeritage, and I'm not consistent in how I capture that information, how I track that information, and how I get it into my family tree. Now, admittedly, MyHeritage makes it easy, and that's the way it should be, because when beginners start, you know, they're not like me. They didn't go to Boston University's online genealogy class. They don't know source citations, etc., and that's what MyHeritage helps them learn. So you're on a learning curve. And so this is basically what I come up with. I want you to understand this is a recipe. Anyone out there cook? Yeah. I started at age 9 cooking, and I do almost every day. And what is my favorite recipe? Paella, and from Spain. But the thing is, keep in mind when you make a new dish for a family meal, you're going to have a recipe. So, and then you start to depend on that recipe, maybe until you commit it to memory. This is the same thing that you're going to do. You're going to go through a protocol, a procedure at MyHeritage. And this is what I've mapped out. This is the stuff. Now, keep in mind, I've been a professional genealogist. It doesn't mean that I'm better than you. I never lord my credentials over someone. But this is stuff that I've learned. I mean, I'm always in learning mode, and you should be too. You got to organize your research, people. Have you ever ordered a vital record certificate 2 or 3 times and paid good money for it? Yeah, or you're on an all-night research bender on MyHeritage. You've got your Baileys and cocoa there, your fuzzy slippers, your pajamas. You start at 10 o'clock at night, and the next thing you know, it's 3 a.m., and you can't remember where that document was, and all of that. That's what I'm talking about. I want to get the most out of MyHeritage. And so this is what I've come up with. You're not going to store all your research online. I mean, I love the fact that sites encourage that, but I always want to have a copy on my laptop or on my computer, because that's how I started out. I mean, I always had a local native copy. You'll notice my words in all caps, sort of like a command. Establish standards and be consistent. What do I mean by this? This is not that you have to follow, well, you should follow the genealogical proof standard, GPS, put forth by the Board for Certification of Genealogists. You have to create your own standards and follow them. An example, oh, I'm going to cite my sources, and then a month later, I don't need to do it. Or you're going to name your files in a certain way so they're easy to find. Who cares? I'll just use the name they give me. That's what I'm talking about. What if you cooked and you weren't consistent? Oh, I don't need to use measuring spoons, and you wind up with a really salty paella. So you have to be committed to that. Also, as I said before, use a file naming convention and stick to it. I will show you this in a minute. Uh, I like tracking systems. You have to use one that works for you. Many sites have a way to track a to-do list or have a system. Uh, I am wedded to my genealogy research log. I give away the template for free. Yes, it is in Excel. You have to know spreadsheets. It does import cleanly to Numbers on Mac systems, as well as Excel for Mac OS, and as well as Google Drive sheets. But I don't care what you use. You can use a black and white composition notebook. But the thing is, you'll find a lot of value. And one thing, let me say about this. I've been accused of that it's make work, that I'm doing double work. Don't believe it. The thing is, it's really has helped me in the past when maybe I'm on a new profile at MyHeritage and my tree, and I don't enter something correctly. Boom, I have it on my research tracking system. And please, folks, back up your data. Use the 3-2-1 backup system. If you don't know what that is, 3 backup copies. 2 of them, they have to be in different media. They're not all going to be on a flash drive. And then one of them, please, has to be in the cloud. MyHeritage has a great way to back up your tree. And the other thing I'm going to sort of tell you about, you probably have heard me talk about this. This is my new little toy. It is a SanDisk 2 terabytes, solid state drive, portable, goes right in the pocket. This has saved me many times. They run about $250 US. Right now, they're on sale at Amazon. I'll post a link later. These have been as high as $450 lately because of demand and the supply chain issues. But this is where it's at. And why is a solid state better than maybe an external? Well, the older type of hard drive has moving parts, no moving parts. This has a crash case good to 6 meters. This can go, I believe, 30 meters? No, 10 meters in water. I had a follower that washed it in the washing machine the other day. Was able to plug it in and get the data. So these are the things. This basically works for me. But remember, your mileage may vary. Okay, it's not all going to work for you. So the other thing I want you to do, and I'm going to switch over to MyHeritage in a minute. Make sure you're taking advantage of all the family tree tools. I just recently switched from Classic View. Let me get over here. There we go. I want this. There we go. And you should be able to see my screen. I switched over to Classic View from Classic View to the new view. And also see, look at what a bad boy I am. Oh my gosh, I have 943 record matches. Make sure you're getting your record matches. Make sure you're getting your DNA matches. Make sure you're signed up for those notifications. Take maybe an hour or two and go through the knowledge base at MyHeritage, which I absolutely love. It's here under Help, Knowledge Base, and there are videos. You can search by topic. You might even see my ugly face here on a video. And my mother always said, I have a face made for radio and a voice made for print. So keep that in mind. So that's what I'm talking about. You know, you pay money for these things. Let me ask you, do you actually tell your husband, your wife, or your partner how much you spend every year on genealogy? I have a genealogy credit card that my husband doesn't know about. So yeah. But the thing is, if we're going to spend this money, we're going to spend this time. It's an investment. You should get the most out of it that you can. Okay. So I'll have more in the syllabus about this. So let me go through and show you the protocol, and then we're going to come back to this. It's not just putting in a new person. How are you going to maintain that information? What happens when you get new information? And that happens. Luckily, MyHeritage is always adding new records. Sometimes sites are re-indexed. And so, yeah, it's, to me, a family tree, it grows. and you need to prune, you need to maintain, you need to add fertilizer, all of that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go into uh, my family tree. Now, I have a person that I want to add. This has been a subject of a case study, the mysterious death of Anna McPhillips. Let me show you how this happened. This is Anna McPhillips. Great photo. What time period would you say this is from? Probably the 1920s, right? Well, my great grandparents were a blessing in my life. They helped raise me. My great grandmother was in my life until the age of 28. And in 1977, she gave me this photo. We had been watching Roots, the miniseries on TV, February 1977. Later that summer, she gave me this photo. All she said to me was, "Oh, this was Morris Austin's wife. She was killed when a car ran up a curb and pinned her against a building in the Bronx." No maiden name, no date on the photograph. So, what's the first thing I did? Well, this is what you should always do: digitize it. Now, back then we didn't have scanners, but I have digitized this. If you notice too, look at down here. I've used the MyHeritage photo tools. So I put it through the enhancer. I could colorize it, but I love this sepia tone. Then I also had the rear of the car photo, sorry. And this is it. I've enlarged this as much as I can. It says Mrs. Morris Austin, and note that Americans would call that Maurice. That's how they pronounced it. And Austin. This is my great grandmother's handwriting on the back of the card. Dorothy and Eugene's mother. Now, luckily, my great aunt Dorothy was also a blessing in my life. So she lived in the Bronx in the home that the family had built in 1920 or purchased. I remember it right off of Fordham Road near Fordham University, the Grand Concourse. We were down there a lot. I knew my uncle Eugene, her brother. So this makes Anna, we don't know her last name. Well, now we do, McPhillips. She's my second great aunt. Okay. She's married to my great grandfather's brother. All right. And I have collected information. So again, I scanned this. This is backed up 3 ways. And you might say that this stuff is tedious. I just want to go on MyHeritage family tree and have fun. Well, you know, remember the investment thing. So what you do is I want to go ahead and find Morris Austin because I'm going to add Anna as his wife. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me see. There it is, Maurice Ira Austin, my great great uncle. Okay. So here he is without a wife, without children. Okay. But the other thing is, I can't just go here and pull it out of my head. I'm at a point where if I don't write it down or track it in 5 minutes, it's gone. It's just boom, it's gone. So this is what I do. I'm going to go ahead and close this photo. Oh, by the way, this photo is roughly from about 1923 or 1924. Okay. I still don't know when the accident happened. But what I'm doing, and isn't a shame I can't see her face. This is the only photo I have of her. She's got the typical 1920s dress without a waist. She's got the cloche hat. So research that fashion. The one thing Maureen Taylor, the photo detective, always says is that women tend to hold on to a hairdo. Don't go by the hairdo. Go by the fashion, if they were fashionable. Okay, so we'll close this. All right. So let me show you a few things. Let's see. Thought I had Excel open, but I don't. Hold on. Maybe I do. No, I don't. Okay. Sorry for jumping around so much. I actually use a research log in Excel, and I have them grouped here. This is the one. I found out that her birth name, surname was McPhillips. Oh, go away, Microsoft Office. I have a new laptop and I apologize. So, okay. So this is my Excel research log. It's sort of like a sandbox. I come from the information technology field professionally. I used to manage 17 offices across the globe for a large global law firm. You can imagine when I had a Windows update, I just don't say, oh, yeah, just install it. No, you've got to know what's going to happen for each end user. So this sandbox is where you test stuff. It's where you play. I may find 10 different records for Anna McPhillips' birth, her birth date, that have her birth location. So I'll walk through this briefly. This is basically the info that I know. This is the family story my great grandmother gave me. It's always there. And then this is my to-do list. I have it as a tab down here. And who am I researching? What am I trying to research? What am I targeting as a resource? Now, I could say down here, birth certificate. Uh, this is the date I started. Did I complete it? This is when I completed it, and this was the result. You know what the benefit of this is? I can pull this up a year from now, and if I want to start researching Anna again, I know what I've done. In fact, down here, there are colors, by the way. They're hard to see. This one is red. Now, I'm going to take some water, and I apologize. If you don't know, I had bariatric surgery in 2015. I've lost 140 pounds, but I have to hydrate constantly with only 20% of my stomach left. I promise it's lemonade, not an adult beverage. So here, this one is actually colored a red color. I'm going to bump it up like that. See? These are all green. You can't see it very well, but these would be green. Now, when you do project management, which I did, you would have to do this to roll out any software update. Green means good. Green means go. Green means completed or positive information. Red could mean that it's overdue if you're working on a deadline, but red also means negative evidence. I never found a sibling for Anna McPhillips. All right. And then down here, these yellow ones, these are things that are pending. These are things that I haven't done yet. Okay. So I can pull this up and I'm very color oriented. This is very visual. I can see, okay, I have to work on the yellow things. Down here, I have a few blue things, and these are just researching things. She and her husband were married and all the way down in Manhattan. I mean, we're Bronx people. Well, it turns out that Bronx wasn't a county until April 14th, 1912. And that's why they were still part of New York County and had to go there. They were married in February. But anyway, this is a to-do list that keeps me centered. Over here, this tab, there's a research log. Okay, and I'll go home here. And so the thing is, here, I put down, what am I trying to prove? This is the family story. It's based on personal knowledge. And then look at what a good boy I am. I do my source citations and I do them right away. I have an easy way to do that. I have a transcript. I evaluate the evidence. Something I never did when I started out. I treated everything equally. Let me ask you, if I had this family story, a death certificate, and a birth certificate for Anna McPhillips to prove her birth date, which would be the better document? Well, you always go for the record that is closest to what you're trying to prove date-wise. So, birth certificate. A family story is always secondary information. I don't know that my great-grandmother was there at the accident. She definitely wasn't there at the birth because this woman was born in 1887 and my great-grandmother was born in 1894 in New York. So again, they may all be secondary. Usually a death certificate is always secondary. It's never filled out by the person who died. But take maybe a Social Security application. It was filled out by Anna McPhillips. Well, actually, it wouldn't be. She died before. Or my great-grandfather's World War I U.S. registration card for the draft. June 5th, 1917. He filled it out. He signed it. That's primary. And then finally, in direct or indirect. So direct evidence is when it states the fact. So right here, let's go ahead and find one that's positive. And yes, okay. We wanted to prove the death date of Anna McPhillips. Turns out she died on May 8th, 1925. So we would expect that the record says it exclusively. Hold on a minute. I'm getting mail, and I don't know why. Yeah, okay. I just want to check my phone. Okay, great. Anyway, there we are. So it has a death date. And this is, even though this is an index, it has direct evidence. It explicitly states the fact. Okay? And so we say that. An example, have you ever seen a tombstone that has a birth date, that has a death date, and it says they were aged, 38 years, 5 months, and 2 days, and you're like, oh, great, now I got to do math. I got to back engineer that death date to find the birth date. And remember what Barbie said. Barbie said this mantra that I follow. Math is hard. Let's go shopping. But see, I just want you to understand the difference between direct and indirect. Now, if you need help, but wait, there's more. Down here at the bottom of this template for research log, I have an evidence evaluation cheat sheet. It tells you what's the difference between indirect and direct and blended. Okay, so that's there. And by the way, want to see another gift? Down here, there's a citation format tab. What this is, and this is, I know I'm biased towards US research. These are the top 40 record sets that a US researcher would use. So if I wanted maybe a vital record off of a database, maybe at MyHeritage, I would do this. I would go down to vital record database at commercial site. I could just copy this. And I'd copy this, go over to the research log, and this is how I did it. Do you think I know the format for a death certificate? No. You paste it there, you hope that it wraps, and there, you just fill in the blanks. I told you it's easy, but if you can't do that, this is what you should do for a source citation. Pretend that you're a genealogy journalist. What does a journalist ask? Who, what, why, when, and where? That's it. Where did you find the file? When did you find the file? What is the file? And then you have to have a locator. Who is in that record? You want to make sure that someone else can easily find this information, that same record. And then finally, I'll just close out with two more things and stop selling this. I give this away freely. You can use it. You can alter it. I just don't want you to sell this or use it for wagering, which I know is prevalent in genealogy. Look at this. This is a research checklist with 320 different record sets. It's pretty unbelievable. So basically, I have her dates, and I can know which ones I want. See, like the birth certificate, I started here, and I completed, and I can put notes. So it basically reminds me, like here, I know she was born in 1887, but I will always check the previous U.S. federal census just in case. I know she died in 1925. Again, I will check the next federal U.S. census just in case. And down here, oh, yeah, she was in the 1892 New York, the 1905, 1915, and guess what? She was missing from the 1925, and it was June 1st, so I knew she had to have died before that date. This is great. And then finally, there is a list of translated English genealogy terms, all 150 of them. I've translated to Dutch, French, German, Italian, Latin, Polish, Russian, Slovak, and Spanish. No, I do not speak these languages except for Spanish. But this is from Google Translate, and I will warn you. Google Translate works off of artificial intelligence, meaning it's not a native speaker. Here's Exhibit A. We all know pretty much what an alien is. In the US, is someone who's undocumented or maybe has a green card but not citizenship. In French, it comes up as extraterrestrial. Now, I know I have ancestors that I swear dropped out of a spaceship, but I never use Google Translate for long passages of text. If I want it translated by a native speaker, I hire a professional or I go to a genealogy group on Facebook. So that's done. The reason that I want to say all this is organizing my research. I have a research log for each person. This is my command center. Look at it. I've got everything I need. I don't have to go look up a source citation. I don't need to go and look up what's the difference between direct and indirect evidence. It's my bodega of genealogy tools. Okay, so back to our slideshow. Oh no, we're going back to the tree. So I want to add Anna McPhillips. I have all my information. Let me go back to the research log to show you how much I found. Over here, we found a lot of stuff. Birth date, birth location, father's name, mother's name, marriage date, info about her spouse, her children, her death date. I did find this. I found all of this down here, home address, etc., because I had to line things up. Part of the genealogical proof standard put forth by the Board for Certification of Genealogists is you need to do a reasonably exhaustive search. And if you do it right, you will be reasonably exhausted. Okay. And this was a weird case, I will tell you. Uh, I did. Luckily, one of my followers, what an angel she was, she sent me the family search images for death and marriage certificate. And I answered some of these. Okay. So this was the research log. This is what I have over here. I have the personal knowledge. I was able to prove the death date, the death location. It was the Bronx. I wanted the cause of death. I did find it. You know where I found it? Found it on the certificate. See if we can find it. Yeah, there was a Social Security application that her daughter did. Uh, and let's see. Yeah, number 4 seems to be the one. Let's go to number 4. Here we go. I actually found a very, very good index of this. Okay. Yeah. She died at age 35. She was married. Birth date is estimated. That's indirect evidence. Death date, died at Fordham Hospital. Hemorrhagic traumatic rupture of spleen struck by pleasure auto, accidental. That was a legal term for a car that hit you. Remember, cars were not as prevalent in 1925 as they are today. Accidental, burial date, housewife, all of that. And then I was able to prove this there. And oh, folks, if I found this, I always have a link back to the document. We'll try and do that later if we have time. That's for another show. Okay, so I do have all of this. And then even, let me show you 2 things I found out. I did find a court case. Actually, Morris Austin, on behalf of his children, look at all these documents that I have. Wow. Yeah. Is there was a Bronx County probate. They won a lawsuit for $10,000 US in 1926. That's worth about $161,000 today. They sued the driver for negligence. This whole probate is set file. This was on Family Search. And that, so I added. So see what it was. I didn't find this until a few months later. So you're always doing this type of research. Okay. So here, you want to know something weird? I thought, okay, this should be in the newspapers in New York. I mean, not an everyday occurrence, right? A runaway auto kills a woman. I find this story. Wild auto runs upon sidewalk, injures 5.